Hello guys, thank you for checking out this video. It's the Sidleys. Introduce yourselves real quick. This is
Steve Sidley.
Steve Sidley and
I'm Annie.
Annie Sidley. And now the Sidleys, if you didn't know, they are 5 Sidleys altogether. It's a family affair from
Bethesda, Maryland.
Bethesda, Maryland. So that's hometown right here. And so it's you guys and the kids?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's so cool. And if they haven't heard of you as an artist, what are 3 big name artists you've been compared to if they haven't heard of you?
We've been compared to Lake Street Dive, Amy Winehouse, and
Adele.
Yeah. Adele.
Sure.
Or Annie's got the pipes. A little Adele, maybe some Christina Aguilera, that kind of thing. Right now on the radio, we're playing their song, The Signs, off their latest album from 2017 called The Love You Make. So that's airing right now, and then I'm going to interview them. But I wanted to give you a little context before we start the interview so that you knew who these guys were, because they're awesome. So I hope you check out more of their music if you're checking out this video, because we're having a great time. And this is, wow, there's so much. I love the vibe and the harmonies. The harmonies are so sweet. How many of you sing the harmonies? Is it you two that harmonize?
Well,
or
there's
just
4-part
harmonies sometimes?
Yeah.
I mean, oh, God.
There's something about when a family sings together. I mean, the voices blend.
Timbres of their voices match.
Seriously.
That's the thing.
It's a little crazy.
I mean, it's magical. So if you haven't heard it, listen to their song, The Signs. This is it. And we'll bring it back. Let's interview these guys here. That was the song Signs by the Sidleys, and that's off the album The Love You Make. And holy smokes, guys, I just love it. Between the harmonies and just, it's like, it's good music and it's good harmonies and it makes you feel good. And I remember Haley Fahey came on the show and she was talking about the Sidleys, and I had never heard of the Sidleys. And I am so grateful that she introduced me to the Sidleys because, oh my goodness, I've been following for a while. So now that was the song Signs. What's the story behind the song Signs?
It's really about people who just, they can have all these blessings and not recognize them. So it's like gold falling from the sky, but then you put up your umbrella because, hey, it's raining, but you don't realize what it is. And it's a little deeper than this,
Yeah.
So yeah, just the idea of just, if you have gratitude and you look for those things that are good in your life, you sort of multiply that, as opposed to, I mean, you could have all of these great things, but if you don't appreciate it or enjoy it, it's like it doesn't really matter.
I think we've all been there.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I think
Not about
so,
anyone in particular.
I mean, there's always, I heard the phrase, it's called the hedonic treadmill. I don't know if you've ever heard that. I can't remember what book I was reading that. I read a lot. I was reading this in this book, and it talked about the hedonic treadmill, where there's always something more that you're looking for. And even when you achieve the goal, then it's on to the next thing and on to the next thing. And so it's just, even all the blessings, like you said, you put up that umbrella and you just kind of ignore the gold falling from the sky because you're looking for something else.
Right.
Really true.
Exactly.
Well, that's the thing, is just thinking you're going to be happy with that next thing. But the truth is, you have to be happy now, or else later.
You don't have the past or the future. You only have now.
Yeah, now.
It's big time. So, and let me give you a proper introduction here. So, on DC Music Rocks, we're shining a spotlight on the great songs, artists, and incredible people behind the DC region's music scene. And the Sidleys have been busy performing at some of the most prestigious venues, festivals, and outdoor concert series up and down the East Coast. Combining their many talents as singers, songwriters, and multi-instrumentalists, the Sidleys are a family that is creating a rich musical tradition in the Washington, D.C. area. Annie and Steve, sitting here with me, along with their talented sons, Sean, Colin, and Ian Sidley, perform their own eclectic style of melodic, soul-influenced indie rock and shine together on stage with powerful voices, memorable songs, and precise musicianship. And if they haven't seen you on stage, what's it like to see you on stage when you play? Like, how would you describe a Sidleys show?
It's a very high energy affair.
Yeah, very high energy.
It really is. It's like everyone's, playing. We like to give every % possible out when we're playing, because we don't know any other way to do it.
We really don't.
Some people are like, you guys
back.
are trying too hard. Like,
We
look,
don't
this
hold
is what we
back well.
got.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're silly. We're
Yeah, we have
goofballs on stage. Well, we never know what we're going to say or do.
I never know what she's going to say.
I don't even know what I'm going to say. I didn't even know I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Spontaneous excitement happening in the family here. Yeah. Okay, now you have to walk me through how the Sidleys became, like, you decided to record. I mean, there's a lot of steps that happened. When you were having kids, did you think, we're going to have enough kids to have a band. Like,
yeah,
how did this
absolutely.
happen?
That's why I did it. No.
Well, people used to
No,
used to tease us when we first the kids were babies. They're like, "Oh, you're just growing your own little rhythm section, huh?" We're like, "No."
Laugh it off.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
right.
a terrible idea.
They're not going to want to be musicians.
But then all of them ended up getting into music. All of them ended up being great musicians.
Right.
And somewhere around maybe 4 or 5 years ago, just one at a time, started playing with us until it was like, hey, we're a whole band now.
The oldest one has been playing since he was a little baby. So we have pictures of him on drums, and he was a prodigy. Like he started really young. He could play. I mean, it was pretty crazy.
It was freaking
Wow.
Little 2-year-old on drums, like killing it.
So wait a minute now. So which oldest and youngest then? Which instruments came first? Tell their instruments and then what order they it evolved in. What do you play, and then what do the kids play? What did they come along and start playing?
So I'm a multi-instrumentalist, so I've played keyboards and bass and different things. Now I'm playing guitar because it's simply the thing that there isn't in our family. Like, we have a drummer and a bassist and a keyboardist. I'm like, well, the guitar slot's empty, so
There you go.
Right.
Jump on that guitar,
That's
Dad.
where
Come
I am.
on now. Let's do it. And Annie, what about you? You just singing, or you play
Well,
guitar?
I play guitar,
Okay.
and I sing and write. Steve and I write all the music together. The boys are writing too, but they do a couple songs of their own with us from time to time.
Sure.
But I play a little bit of keyboards, very little.
Got it.
Steve
Okay.
is working on, giving me a little bit more as the boys have other gigs and I have to fill in
Yeah,
all the
that's
little
right.
empty spots.
Ooh, yeah.
I know, I'm
That's
getting
right.
out of my comfort zone.
There it is.
Exciting.
Oh my God, that's good. And then the kids, which one plays which?
Sean is the drummer, so
Okay.
he was the one
And
I was
he's-
talking
who's-
about.
is he the
played.
oldest?
He's
Yeah.
the oldest,
Okay.
and he's the one who played very young.
Okay.
And then we've got Colin, who's the bass player. He also sings. He has a fantastic voice, beautiful.
Sure.
And the youngest one is Ian. He plays keyboards and sings as well. It's great,
Got it.
great voice as
And
well.
he's been doing a lot of songwriting lately.
Yeah.
Nice.
And both Colin and Ian are very influenced by jazz, so they're
Cool.
very
That explains
sophisticated.
part of the eclectic collection. If you listen to more of the Sidleys album discography and you go back and listen to some of the songs, I mean, some of your songs are a little funkier vibes, some are a little jazzy. It's not like a rinse and repeat kind of group where one song is going to be very different from another, but I really enjoy the way that they all kind of, it's still the Sidleys, but it's a little different.
Yeah, we'd like to, we're more in the vein of songwriters. I mean, we just write whatever comes up, no matter what genre it is.
Yeah.
Sure.
And we don't want to be stuck playing the same thing all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And now, is this a tradition that's been, like, you guys have been in the same house in Bethesda ever since the kids came along, and like it's been very established in the region for years.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
moved
pretty
into our
much.
house, I think, right, just less than a year before Sean was born, so.
And then what made you decide that you were going to go into the studio and record these things and make a group called the Sidleys and like make it official as opposed to just playing for friends? Or like, when did that happen? How
Well,
did
we
that
should
happen?
talk about Ronnie Newmeyer because that's actually the reason why we got all the boys together. Ronnie Newmeyer has Newmeyer Flyer. And also,
also
they do
part
the
of
band
band
house
house
gigs.
gigs.
And he put together a show called Halloween How. And we decided, I have students, I teach voice.
Now, wait a minute, if they've never heard Halloween How, what is that, like a house concert, or is that at a venue, or what is
It's on
Yeah, it was
Halloween.
a Halloween
it's like,
show. We did it at the Hamilton, we did it at Bethesda Blues and Jazz,
Okay.
and a number of different places.
So we needed a band, and my students were singing. So we decided to get the boys involved, and that was actually their first show. Was at the Hamilton.
So you were the backup band for your singers?
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And now, does that mean you also give vocal lessons?
I
or-
do.
We both teach.
We both teach.
I mean, you're a musician, you got a lot of jobs.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, there's no other way
what
to
are you
do it.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That doesn't
I'm
happen.
sorry.
Please.
Yeah.
All right. And so, what do you teach? So, Annie, you teach vocals and other things, or vocals
Well,
is your main?
I teach voice mainly, and then
Okay.
if my voice teachers and my voice students want to learn like ukulele or guitar or a little bit of piano, a little bit of theory, I'll help them out.
I
So
gotcha.
I'll give them lessons on showing the basics and stuff like that. So music, basically. You know.
And what about you, Steve?
I teach guitar, bass, piano, occasionally drums, but that's not really my best thing.
Got it.
I give the drum students to Sean, who teaches
Right.
drums.
Sean
and
teaches
so
drums. Do all the kids teach instruments too?
They have taught. We've done
Uh-huh.
summer camps and workshops and things for students where they have been involved. So yeah, they have indeed.
Wow. All right. Everybody's doing it.
So we did an album before The Love You Make, which was sort of our first album, is the Sidleys Bittersweet, which was just Annie and I.
Right.
And I was
Okay.
basically playing all the instruments. And then,
Oh.
but then later that year, as the kids started playing with us, it was like, wait a minute. The next thing and when we did the next record, Love You Make, it was the first time we'd ever really recorded as a family. So it was pretty,
Wow.
it was pretty exciting. It was also kind of like, well, how's this going to go? I mean, is this
Right,
going to
because
be
it was
easy
their-
or not?
It was
And
their
it was
first
great.
time. Their first time
Yeah,
playing in the
so-
studio.
Because, I mean, I'm remembering my family dynamics, and I didn't always get along with my little sister, and then with mom and dad, and then you put all those people
Yeah.
in a recording studio,
That's right.
and that would, I wouldn't have looked at that and thought, oh, this is going to be an endearing family moment. That is not how I see that playing out. Was
Well-
it? I mean, did you fight like family, or did you actually get along, or how
Well,
does the music change things?
Studio's in our house, so I mean, we could do it at our leisure too. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we have our moments.
But yeah, I mean, we like each other. We get along. We have fun. And I think, whereas a lot of people I know that are musicians, it's like they're kids, and then completely disagree on music.
Yeah.
Like, music is the thing that separates them.
Yeah.
For us, it's like, even when we've had a hard time getting along in other ways, we've always listened to music together. And
Right.
we'll play them stuff and they'll play us stuff. And it's really cool. And so, the musical, our musical relationship has always been very, very easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah.
it comes across that way from the outside, so that's why I'm excited to have you here, so I can actually ask you that question. Because I mean, families don't always get along, so it's kind of cool that music is the way that you guys do get along.
Yeah, it really
Yeah,
is. It's
absolutely.
sometimes when you're not sure what to say, just play something.
Right, right. And that's
I feel like that's a T-shirt for musicians.
Yeah, kinda.
When you're not sure what to say, just play something.
See? We're on
Somebody
that.
put that on Amazon. Somebody
it.
put that on Amazon.
It's
That
a
is
coffee
so
mug
give
waiting
motivating.
credit.
to happen.
Oh goodness, I love it. And now, so talk about outside of music. Then, what are hobbies? You guys on the personal side, outside of music, what else do you guys do?
Well, I'm a chef.
Yeah.
I went to culinary school, so
Wow.
I went to l'Académie de Cuisine, which is now unfortunately gone. But
Okay.
learned a lot during that time. It was back in '95. Then I proceeded to get pregnant right after that.
Got it.
Graduation day, basically.
Okay.
But I did do a lot of personal chefing and catering and various jobs. And now I just don't have time for it because I'm too busy with students and playing music. So
Right.
all music, which is good.
It's amazing how lives evolve, and that's look at you, chef to mom to vocal students to that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
And what about you, Steve?
What about me? Outside of music, we do. We like to do things outside and hike and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I do a lot of meditation. That's kind of a personal thing that I
Interesting.
do.
No, when you say I do a lot of, does that mean you go take 30 minutes by yourself, or
Yeah.
10 minutes every hour, or what do you mean?
So,
Say more on that.
it depends on the day. I mean, if it's a stressful day, it
All
might
day
be
long.
more.
Okay.
But yeah, so every day, like in the morning, I would do like 20 or 30 minutes, and then little bits, and then, so it's. I mean, for me, it's been very, very helpful. In terms of like we were talking before about kind of being in the present moment and not always like chasing after the next thing all the time. It's
Yeah.
like. If you're able to be present, then it's much easier to just relax and enjoy yourself, as opposed to, I got to do that thing, or I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, big time. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, let's see. So the other thing I definitely want to ask is talk about biggest success moment for the Sidleys so far. What comes to mind?
We have been lucky to play these great venues with the family.
2016.
Yeah, I mean the Fillmore.
Oh yeah,
and-
we played the Fillmore David Bowie tribute show for band house gigs, and our whole family played it.
Wow.
So we were one of the first full bands. Usually they stick a bunch of musicians.
It's a couple people together,
together.
but it was just the five of us,
Yeah.
and it was like,
We got
this
to
is
play
great, yeah.
the Fillmore. So I think the boys
that's
are
cool.
kind of getting it now as they're getting into their own careers. My first gig was the Hamilton Live.
Yeah, so it's sort of like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Hold on a
It-
second.
it-
Maybe mom and dad aren't so bad after all.
But yeah, it also probably gives you a jaundiced perspective of like, wait a minute, I played much better shows than this.
All right.
Because when you start off that, it's like, well,
I'll say it's hard. It's kind of hard to keep that level of prestige up when you
really
step
is.
into some other things or other acts that aren't quite as established. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm.
The film, very good. And now, talk funniest moment on stage. I mean, you guys have been playing together as a family. So, what are the funny family moments that come to mind when you're thinking about like
There are so many.
performing
You
together?
got any,
Oh
Steve?
man. Well, it's sort of a moment that wasn't funny, but it's funnier now and will become much funnier in a few years down the road. But we had a show about a year ago, and there was some sort of disagreement. You were asking if the family gets along, and we do famously, except for one night, Sean was having a moment, and he just threw a drumstick at Ian, the keyboardist, and we're like, it was in the middle of the song, so we're like, what's going on? And they're like, well, maybe it just slipped, but then like there was a second one, and it was like, okay, so we had to take a break.
And was that in the house at rehearsing, or was that
No,
actually
that
on
was
stage?
actually,
show.
which has never ever happened.
Wow.
And we were just shocked, and then it was. It's funny now.
Yeah. Now it's,
Right.
It wasn't funny. It was like, what is going on?
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was it?
oh,
Women, man.
yeah.
just women.
My son had just broken up with his
Yeah.
girlfriend, and it was
Oh, it's
He
one of
was-
those
one of
sensitive
those
times.
He was
awful
feeling it.
moments. He was feeling it.
Oh,
He was
goodness.
feeling the.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
wild, guys. All right, my favorite question to ask on the show, and this goes for both of you, is if you could offer one piece of advice, whatever context you want, what one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't stop. Keep living your dream. Keep going for your dream.
Thinking about tomorrow?
You said that, and I
Stop
thinking about
tomorrow.
or it's believing. I was gonna say I went believing. In my head, I was like, don't stop believing, do do do. Like the soundtrack just went into my
Right.
head. But that's it. Don't stop doing what you're doing, or
Right.
what's say more on that.
Yeah,
What does
well,
that mean?
Steve just turned 50. Kick and stretch.
I kick, and I'm stretching, I kick.
And we're still doing it. I mean,
Yeah,
we're still
yeah.
doing this, and we're making a living being musicians. So just don't give up on your dreams. Just because things are difficult or are tough at times, keep doing what you love. Just don't ever stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
and to add on to that, do what it is you love to do. I think being in bands a long time ago, we were always sort of like, okay, so what's a genre that we should, do? I mean,
Right.
we were always trying to figure out like kind of where to be or where to fit, and eventually we're like, you know what, we're just gonna do what we love to do and just let the songs come out, and whatever songs come out, that's what we got. And if
Yeah.
it's a country song or if it's a funk song, hey, it's still us.
Yeah.
And we don't feel like we have to make it this or that because that never really worked for us.
Well, I mean,
It's
why
eclectic.
pigeonhole ourselves? Record companies do that to artists all the time, so we
Yeah.
don't really
Yeah.
have to do
Oh
that.
yeah, I mean, it's
Play
like
anything we want.
it's like,
That's
look,
true.
I'm not old, I'm not young and I'm not skinny, so I can do whatever the hell I want. I mean, really, it's like, who am I trying to impress at this
There
point?
you go.
I'm just gonna
Oh,
play
God,
music
I
and
love
have
it.
fun.
Exactly.
And all right, so the two things happening is Friday, December 21st at Villain and Saint. Check, we got the whole families together for the Sidleys show. And then also one more time, if they want to follow the Sidleys and all the stuff you guys have going on, where do they go?
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram.
Twitter.
We're all over, Twitter.
Bands in town.
Bands in town. We're all over the social media, and our website at the Sidleys, SID as in door, LEYS.com.
There you
Our
go.
whole schedule, and you
Yeah.
can listen to music.
Everything's on
and-
there.
All
and,
the details.
And on our social media, we tend to do every few weeks. We like to Facebook Live a brand new song we wrote. We
There
call
you
it
go.
Friday Music Live. So, and it's even better when it's songs we really don't know. I mean, we just wrote them to the
Yeah.
point where,
Just nice.
and that's
It's
like
like
kind of part
babies
of the
being
excitement.
born.
Last week we did one. We barely knew it.
Oh man! But there's something about the pressure of that. It's like it's exciting. It's like, yeah, let's get on. And,
Let's record this
Let's
thing
do
on
it.
video.
No fear.
There's evidence of how you screwed it up or how you nailed it. Whatever happens.
No fear or pride. We're not sure which
So
one it
good.
is.
All right. Now, let's get back to some music. And when you're a guest on the show, you got to bring great music with you. And the Sidleys definitely did. So who are we going to play first? What do you have for us first today?
One of my favorite people and favorite DC artists, Haley
Yeah.
Fahey.
Yeah.
She's opened for us a couple times.
Yep. And what
And
song
the
is
song
that?
we're doing is Dry Ice.
Cool.
Dry Eyes.
Dry Ice. And there it is. So guys, that's the Sidleys. I hope you check out more from them. And of course, if you don't subscribe to DC Music Rocks on YouTube or on your podcast or wherever you get your stuff, I'd love to keep sharing all this great DC music with you. And the Sidleys is definitely one. So check them out on whatever platform you like. And guys, thanks so much for being on the show. This was really cool having you.
Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
everybody. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. See you next